Hey, I'm going to have fun this morning. I'm doing another request reading using the Nicoletta Ceccoli deck. This is a really cool little deck, and I've never read with it, but I really love the artwork, and it's quite haunting and quite interesting. And it says in the first paragraph, in the first page, this offers layer and layer upon of moods and symbology, that a wide range of all, and above all, imagination. So this little book is really interesting too. So it's not just the deck; you'll also get this really interesting book. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do a little mini political reading. I'm going to ask the cards about how everything's going to be. How are we going to manage the transition? I don't know who's going to win. But let's just see. Whoever wins, how will the transition go? So what are we looking for as far as the transition that's going to happen after during the election and after the election? So I'm sort of curious about the before and after of whoever wins. Of course, it's not just the presidential election. There's elections going on throughout the country in different levels of Senate, House, local elections, governor, state houses, and all that. So let's just see how this is going to go. So I'm using this deck. I'm getting a significator. And let's see. I'll just grab something that strikes my fancy. Something about, maybe we should look for the Wheel of Fortune. Let's look for the Wheel of Fortune. There we are. No, this is the Hermit. The Wheel of Fortune is number 10. Did I pass it? Let's use the Wheel of Fortune because that's sort of fate. So you get to see the cards. Oh, interesting they are. This also comes in a mini deck, which I haven't purchased, but I'm thinking I might get one. They're just sort of fun to have. Now, as I said, I haven't read with these. And so I want to be careful with how I look at the cards, because sometimes what I think is a card is actually not the card. I may have passed number 10 already. That's the wheel. There we go. I guess not. There it is. Second last card. So we'll use that as a significator. What will happen during the transition? Will it be smooth? Will it be rocky? Will it be manageable? Will it be just another thing that we all have to deal with? More nonsense, more garbage, more hysteria, more anger, more troubling deaths? Who knows? Okay, so we'll start picking the cards. So when I read these, I'm not going to read them like I would normally read them. I'm going to look at the book. And this way you'll get a good sense of what the book is saying. On how the cards can be read intuitively, but they also have their, they also vaguely reminiscent also of the traditional tarot, but this is not a traditional tarot deck. So here we have the Wheel of Fortune. It's kind of like fate. What will happen? We don't know. The wheels of fortune change all the time, so that's kind of why I picked that significator. The recent past is the Moon card. So let's read what their Moon card has to say. So this is a major arcana. The Moon card. There are many mysteries in the depths of the unconscious. Pay attention to your dreams and the realms of your imagination. So as you see, this for this kind of deck, it talks a lot about going inner child work, inner work. So to read this for a general reading like I'm doing, I would say, well, there's a lot of mystery now. We don't know. Everyone's got their own viewpoint. Everyone's coming in with their own particular interests and their own motivations, and so there's a lot that we don't know because everyone's kind of thinking privately and using not necessarily sharing what their knowledge is or how they feel about things. I noticed in my area, there's not a lot of political signs. There are some political signs, but very few, and I was surprised about that. Okay, so it's still a mystery. There's a lot of mystery going on. People are not talking much. I think they were talking among themselves, maybe in their family or with small groups, but generally I think people are not sharing their feelings because it's pretty volatile right now. What's happening right now, we pulled 2 major arcanas, which is interesting. Okay, this is number 6. This is the Lover's card, right? Number 6. The Lover's card. A chance is offered to you that could change everything. Listen to your heart's guidance. Follow the path of love. Well, isn't that wonderful advice? So, the world, I don't know how the world is reacting, but I think from an individual perspective, follow your heart, follow from a place of love is probably a wonderful advice for all of us. And what that means too is following from a place of love is also not being judgmental of others, not being nasty to others. I think this card here is a really good card to have in this position because even though we disagree with people, there's no reason why we can't show respect and love towards others. And if we did that, it would be very different. But there are people that are not like that. They're right and then you're wrong and you're stupid and all this other stuff. But showing love to ourselves and each other is probably a good direction to go in. I like that. Hidden influences. Wow, this is getting weird. I have to say, sometimes these cards are so weird. We have another major arcana. This is like a major event, and it is a major event. And it's the High Priestess. So let's talk what the High Priestess has to say. Your wisdom springs from earth, the stars, and ancient cosmic knowledge. Trust what you know to be true. Well, isn't that wonderful advice for all of us? It's like have you be your inner guide. Have your spirit be your inner guide during these troubled times. And it won't let you down. It won't be false. It'll be true. So your hidden influences are your High Priestess, which is feminine intuition, ancient mysteries, and wisdom. So here again we have this ability to transcend the situation if we just listen to our inner selves and our inner spirit. The obstacles coming up in the next, during this transition period. The 8 of Cups. Now that's interesting, the 8 of Cups. Let's look at what the book says. I would have my own opinion about the 8 of Cups since I know the Rider-Waite-Smith, but let's look up what the book says. Okay, just went by it. Emotional upset. This is our challenges. Emotional upset is keeping you from making any meaningful progress. Don't cling to resentments and pain. Set them free. So our obstacles could be our resentments, and anything that's holding us back. And so the challenge is to not cling to resentments, to past hurts, but to move on away from them. So that's very interesting too. So we've all been involved in discussions, no matter what side you're on, discussions about what is going on politically and feeling very strongly a certain way and building resentments against other people, friends and family, that disagree with us. And it's time to let those go. It's good to let those go. So that's wonderful advice. Again, once I'll say emotional upset is keeping you from making any meaningful progress. Don't cling to resentments and pain. Set them free. It's interesting, when you read the book, then you can kind of look at the picture and sort of see how symbolic it is. And she has all these caged up birds inside her, these resentments possibly, and the coloration also shows a little bit of a darker card. The community. Here we have the community. We have the Seven of Wands in the community, and there's some odd thing going in there. Seven of Wands in the community. Let's look that one up. Okay, now this is the community. This is all of us. Seven of Wands. Some mistakes may be to need to be atoned for, and situations set right. Take care that the punishment fits the crime. Don't hold a grudge. So here we're repeating what's up here. The community is all, it's a roiling mess right now with everyone taking sides. And I can understand that because I take sides as well. But sometimes, we have to let that go and find what we have more in common with than what we don't have in common with. So some mistakes, and I think we've all made mistakes. Maybe we've said hurtful things to other people. And some mistakes may need to be atoned for and situations set right. Maybe people have to apologize to one another. Maybe people have to be kinder to one another. Maybe we all have to do that and take maybe just one person or one thing and try to make it right. And it says don't hold a grudge. So that's for everybody. Now, assuming we do all this, where does this lead us? The Two of Swords. The Two of Swords. The Two of Swords. Proceed slowly and with caution. The situation holds possible danger or failure. But if you are careful and pay attention to details, you can reach your goal. Well, that's interesting. So we will all of us will have to make a decision and follow through with that decision. And we may be pressured on different parts, maybe family, friends may pressure us. So we're all going to be doing that. We're all going to have to make a decision. Maybe some will decide not to vote. Some will decide that it's mandatory to vote. Some people may be on the fence and maybe they should vote. Make your voice heard. So it says proceed slowly and with caution. And you see her on the tightrope. The situation holds possible danger or failure. As you can see, she's walking a fine line here. But if you are careful and pay attention to details, you can reach your goal. So everything can be all right as long as we pay attention, we see the pitfalls, we continue to move forward, and we're brave, and we continue to move forward. And the final outcome for this troubling time is the Ten of Discs. Yay! Now, the Ten of Discs in the Rider-Waite-Smith is a wonderful card. So let's look at what it says here. I see a little girl in a merry-go-round. There is no limit to what you can achieve now. Material prosperity may come to you in unexpected ways, especially through the help of others. So the key concepts here are breaking through limitations, victory, and financial growth. So it does indicate that, it'll be trying times. We have to do a lot of reflection, self-reflection. But in the end, it will be good. We'll achieve contentment and reach our goals. So I would say that the next 3 months are not without its challenges. But if we take stock, if we follow our spirit, if we forgive others, if we make good decisions, if we acknowledge that there have been pain on both sides, we can reach a goal of happiness with the 10 of Discs. So this was a little reading using not only the Nicoletta Ceccoli deck, but also this book. The book is worth is worth it as well. It's quite interesting. And you could look at this book to also expand on your Rider-Waite-Smith meanings. So there you go. This was requested by Nadia. Thank you, Nadia. And thanks for watching. Have a great day.